We came back last week from the States after our trip. Went over there to see Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozi.
Someone, wise man once said, if money can solve your problem, it's not a problem. It's an expense.
There must be a level of disbelief that it would happen.
Is there?
I think there is, to a degree. There has to be.
I think that
because you're going out on a limb and you're trusting someone. And look,
every step of the process is a different level of excitement. But I think the excitement's the next step. We get bored with what we know.
yes.
But then what we don't know becomes scary.
Are you influenced by the fact of who he is, what he's done?
I think, yes, you should be.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He's done it. He's got the runs on the board.
The biggest takeaway. And we're back.
Now we're back. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us. $1 Million Days podcast, as always. My name is Top George, and I am joined by Mr. Robert.
That is I.
What's going on, man?
We're on the other side.
Been to the other side.
Been
Come
to
back.
the other side.
And survived.
See how I said we're on the other side now?
Yeah.
'Cause I now classify myself as a US citizen.
You are significantly influenced.
Massively.
I said something to you in an American accent the other day.
You said R.
R.
And I was like, whoa.
Maybe it's just trying to be a pirate. Who knows? The mysteries of the world. But yes, we came back last week from the States after our trip. Went over there to see Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozi. Spent some time in Vegas doing some other activities, the sights, the sounds, everything that Vegas had to offer. So it was a really good trip.
You know, I can't believe we're like halfway through April.
Yeah, first quarter's down. Like down.
Dude, down and we're halfway through the next month.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been hectic. It feels like we never went overseas. Did you feel that? Do you feel that?
Like as a dream?
Yeah, man. Like I just came back and it was just hit the ground running and it's like been nonstop ever since. Even walking into this podcast, just shit going on.
And it feels like if you were to describe how it feels like from a time perspective, you'd be like, I went like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it was like, we've been here for 10 days.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So yeah, we've spoken a bit about it at length. Went for dinner last night with one of the other guys I went to the States with. What was one of your takeaways?
Well, you know what? I want to get you to start first because you've been before
Yes.
and I haven't.
Mm.
You know what? I'll go first because I haven't.
Yeah, okay.
Because then I'm going to be influenced by
My
your influentialness.
That's it.
Um,
Most people are.
The biggest takeaway. We play in Australia. We are very. How do I want to say this without, like, in the sense of like we play a really small game, or we're really restricted, not in a you can't do, but in a no one, dude, like the hat. The
Oh, it
hat's the big
does?
thing, right? That was a key takeaway. So for everyone listening, if you're watching this, I'm wearing $1 Million Days hat right now. I wore this almost every single day in the US.
Yeah.
And as I'd walk around, people would be like, everywhere, on the plane, you know, in the airports,
Yeah.
wherever I was, New York, LA, Texas, they were all like, hey man, sick hat. Yeah, fuck yeah, $1 Million Days, blah, blah, blah. You know, let's make $1 million today. So many people, you know, grouse hat, where can I get one from? I reckon I got a compliment a day.
Yeah.
At least.
I remember you telling me before I got there. You're like, dude, everyone keeps talking about my
Yeah.
hat. And I'm like, oh, really?
And then you saw it.
But then I wore the hat as well because I've got my own hat too. And yeah, on the plane, same thing. Just
Yeah.
sitting next to a lady on the way to Vegas from San Fran. And she goes, oh, man, love your hat. Thanks.
Yeah.
Available for $39.95.
I reckon I've
AUD,
had
yeah.
$49.95.
I say so.
Should start selling shit in USD. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I reckon I've had one person comment me on the hat.
Yeah, here.
It's here.
I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, it was my mum.
It doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't. You could be wearing a fucking Sylvester Stallone hat.
That would be a
They
sick hat.
exist.
Would be
They
a sick
exist.
hat.
It would, but she'd
Very
comment
cool
on
hat,
it.
of course. But yeah, haven't, like, you know what I mean? And then it's like, the hat isn't, like, it's a cool hat, but like it's nothing, there's nothing, apart from what it says, there's nothing else, there's no real design to it. So like no one looks at it from a design aspect.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, it's just writing.
it's
a
just
plain
writing on a hat. but it's what it says. $1 million days. And the fact that everyone there was so on board with it. Like, yeah, fuck
celebrating
yeah.
it. Well
Yeah.
done. Good
You know
on
what I
you.
mean?
Keep
Yeah.
going. And it's not to the extent that you are a millionaire, or they would assume that. But they're like, hey man, love the message. Love it. Keep going. Let's do it. Let's do it together. High fives. And man, just everyone was commenting like how much they enjoyed it.
I think that was
It just
it's
goes
like, why
to
don't
show
we
that
do that here?
perspective. Yes.
Yeah, why don't we do that here?
Why don't we celebrate things like that? Is it people are more reserved? They just don't want to come up to you and sound like a dick. I don't know.
But
Could be
not
a
one
level of
person, like, there wasn't a single moment where a person came out to me and said it, and I looked at you like, what a dick, huh?
Yeah. But I'm saying here.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, even if it happened in there, like over there, sorry, it didn't happen once.
Yeah.
Like, why would we look at it that way here? We wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what
it's
I mean?
that whole mentality, that tall poppy syndrome shit. and
Yeah,
seeing
I
people-
think that is was exposed to me of how much it really is a massive thing here.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And it's just in the simple subconscious things that people are doing and don't even realize it.
Yeah, you know, and like, even myself, I'd be like, I wouldn't tell someone that.
Yeah. Would you have
Then I'm
gone up
like,
to someone and said, hey, sick hat?
No. But then I'm like, that's been ingrained and I'm conditioned
Yeah.
by my environment.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, without a doubt.
That was the big thing. Now, the worst fucking thing. Actually, I'll let you tell your big thing first, and then we'll get on to we'll go from
I just found that when I was over there, they did everything bigger. As far as entertainment is concerned, no one comes close. No one comes close to the States. You go order a fucking pizza, it's bigger. Like everything is bigger there. It's so out there in your face. They do entertainment better than anyone else. We went to an ice hockey game. It was just as good as almost any AFL game I've been to. And I don't know a thing
the
about
AFL, dude.
I don't even know a thing about ice hockey. We were sitting behind, there was these people behind us. They heard our Australian accent. They're like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, mate, we've never been to the ice hockey. You what? You haven't been to ice hockey? They're like blown away. Like, okay, this is what happens. He gets a goal. These guys are good. This guy's bad.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
That's right.
It was so
It
good.
was so, like, every single person in the stadium was so into it. The pre-game show, phenomenal. So entertaining.
Dude, or like the score, someone scores and you could not know that it happened.
Yeah.
It was like ridiculous.
The stadium erupted.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
There's like a ship, like a ship horn, like
Yeah.
and the dry ice, and like it was full on.
It was full on. And then you go to shows. Okay, it is Vegas. There is a bit more of that, but I don't doubt that that's what it's like at other places when you go to a sporting event anywhere over there. So they do things bigger, all right? And sometimes, you know what? Quite often better. Quite often better. They just won't spare the expense to go out and entertain. I found that most people were quite friendly on it, like happy. Most people. I didn't see scarcity there. You know, you speak a lot of, you know, they're doing it hard, the dollars, you know, that people aren't making money. I didn't see any of that. That could very well have been because we were in Vegas. And, you know, people are lining up at Starbucks to get their coffee in the morning. The conversion for us was ridiculous over there at the moment.
Paying
60% more on anything you purchased. That's how you figured it out. 60% more on anything you purchased. So it was full on.
Yeah,
like you're paying $11, $12 for a small latte, and it tastes like shit. That's one thing they don't do well is coffee. And
So apparently they do.
no, they don't.
No. So hear
Just
me.
because their taste buds are.
Let me explain.
Go.
The girl I sat next to on the plane from Vegas to San Fran.
Yes.
Yeah, and she was like, "You going to the wrong places."
Yeah.
We do have like Melbourne, Sydney coffee. She goes, "We've got the same thing."
Wow.
And I was like, "Where?" And then she's like, "You going to like these Starbucks and all that?" She's like, "Wrong places. You need to go Coffee Roasters." She says, and that's where you get like the
proper
nice,
coffee.
like a nice latte that's actually creamy and
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah, well, there you go.
interesting. Bit late.
Yeah, and I'm
but
sure that's it. I'm sure there was places that existed like that there, but we didn't find any or go to any. But that's all good.
biggest takeaway.
The way they sell over there is a little bit different too. Like especially at the GC event, the Grant Cardone event, that could be very specific to his style of training and selling. They're very in your face. They're very pushy. They're very persistent. Is probably the best word. I wouldn't say pushy. That's to say persistent.
I would say pushy.
Would you?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but that's their sales tactic. Like they'll use it to like an agreement frame to go, don't you think that this, if I could give you something that would help you, that would be great for you? And it's like you have to answer yes. Like, no, that wouldn't be great for me. Why would I want to make more money?
Yeah.
So they
but
try
also like
frame you in that.
we
that
know
sense of the word.
someone. Shout out to Scott. We know someone that was there with us who was being almost harassed.
Yeah, but that's also his inability to say stop, yeah, and leave me alone. I'm not buying.
Yeah.
Like you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. They will
Dude,
take a
that
mile.
guy, at one point, that guy came and stood right in front of me at the stand and blocked my view to the stage to talk
Yeah.
to Scott.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
remember that.
oi, like, move.
Yeah.
Like, I paid to be here.
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean? Take this conversation elsewhere. Scott, get the fuck out.
Mm.
Like, you know, and that was, you're
I thought that was
disrupting other people.
Yeah, I thought that was extreme there.
Yeah.
When he came, we were sitting down watching
He
the
was,
show.
dude, I couldn't see the stage.
Yeah.
And he was standing in front of me talking to
And he's
Scott.
come to get Scott. I'm like, dude, that's
like-
like just chill. He'll come outside and speak to you. But
Yeah,
I think
pushy.
that's
Very
what
pushy.
it is
Very,
ingrained in
very
them. Like you have to make, these are your targets. You got to make 10 sales a day minimum. Call them, harass.
I didn't
them.
like that. I don't like that.
Yeah, he's always been like that, as in Grant Cardone's methodology. And we spoke and met someone whilst we were up there as well. And he was saying when he went into their office, he goes, there were people still there at 9:30 at night because they hadn't met their targets for the day. So it's like, no, keep hitting the phones, keep hitting the phones. And look, they're making money, they're making sales, but like it's just non-stop the whole time that they're there. So that was interesting to see. But then we went to Alex Hormozi's and it was different. It wasn't that style of ramming it down your throat and trying to get the sale as you walked out the door. He was more give the value and then
Yeah. And
This
he
is what
seems
we
like
do.
he's always been
that way
that
inclined.
way inclined. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So
So what's your biggest takeaway? They got bigger pizzas.
yeah. My takeaway from them is very similar to yours. I just don't feel that there's a scarcity mindset over there for comparatively to here. I think too many people are more reserved and they don't celebrate wins as much here.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
what
I
they
feel
do
like
there.
their whole thing is like, this is a place where your dreams come true.
Yeah, and that's great.
And
It's like if
like,
you go buy
they're happy for you about it.
Yeah, perfect example. It's like if you go buy a Lambo. I was speaking to my brother-in-law about this the other day. One of his friends wanted to buy the Urus, the Lamborghini, and he jumped in it. He goes, "Yeah, I'm going to go buy it." And my brother was like, "Man, don't do it." He goes, "Oh fuck." He goes, "The image you're going to portray by having that is going to be detrimental to you, your business, your brand." He goes, "Don't buy that car. I get it's cool. I get it's this, it's this, it's this, but he goes, it's not going to be great for you." Whereas in the States, you would buy that car and someone would be like, wow, like, man, what did you do to get that car? That's amazing. Tell me the story. Like that, good on you for doing that. Well done for taking a risk. Well done. And I feel that they celebrate that aspect a little more. It's not seen as you're an arsehole, you're, whatever it might be, drug dealer, you're a fucking crook, you're making money off the back of poor people. Like it's not seen like that
I think
here.
that's an Australian thing.
That's what I mean. So, but to see that firsthand was different because we're not exposed to that. You get a lot of people who celebrate. Like, well, how many people when we went to events, they say, "Oh, what do you do with yourself?" I'm like, "Oh, we'll do this and this." "Oh man, that's amazing. Well done. Congrats. Like, it's great that you're doing that. And you've come all the way here to invest in your business." And like there was that aspect, which I found quite interesting. There was one other thing which I spoke about on my socials. This was more of a personal thing, not necessarily something that I learned at America. When we were there, we drove some supercars. So Aston, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and one more Porsche. So the GT3. And
What was your favorite?
the Lamborghini, the Huracan.
Yeah.
I like that, the favorite. That was my favorite out of all four of them. Aston was really nice, but yeah, that one overall, I thought that was really nice.
The Lamborghini and the Ferrari were a different level of car.
They were,
compared to the
yeah,
other two.
they were, correct. I agree.
Whole
But
different
I didn't
car.
love the Ferrari, funny enough.
I really
remember you
liked the
said,
Ferrari.
yeah, I remember you said you did. But I just thought from a perspective of if I was going to have this as a daily drive, I didn't like the interior as much.
I was-
And it was only a 2-year car. I know.
I was like,
I do.
don't-
That's why I'm saying as an overall package, the Lambo did it for me.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, so what I got the most out of that experience was we got to do 26 odd laps with these cars. I had an instructor. It was a lot of fun doing 200K down the straight. So it was fun. And what I realized was I love my cars, just to clarify. I love cars. I've always wanted to have a garage full of cars. And, in your mind, you build it up to be this super amazing thing to have these cars one day. What a dream that will be. When I get that car, I'm going to be complete. I'm going to be so happy. And driving these cars, it just wasn't that big of a deal. I got in them, drove them, had fun, enjoyed it, still appreciated that car. But I realized that when I do eventually get these cars, it's not going to be like oh, wow, now I'm happy. This is amazing. Now I've achieved something great. And I felt that it'll get to that point where it's just going to become another daily drive. It's just going to become the norm that this is what we do now. This is what we have. And it's not going to be something that fulfills me. And I think if you're looking for fulfillment out of objects like that, you'll probably, when you get them, eventually get bored and need something else to fill that gap in your life. So that was interesting for me to do
That's
that.
everything though.
Yeah, I think that's applicable to a lot of things for sure. And
Not
you can even, sorry?
Not everything.
Potentially everything, yeah. I mean, I haven't thought about it in great depth, but it's like, look at your business and where you're at today. Go back 10 years ago.
There was a time, yeah.
You would have
killed the
been
thing
like, oh my God, I'm going to turn over that much in 10 years. Are you serious? And whereas now you're like, fuck, okay, is that all I'm making?
Fucking this and that.
Yeah. Is that, these get all these problems. What a drainer. You know, maybe I should go back to when I didn't make that much money. And that was just an interesting thing for me to come to that realization and go, not that I ever thought the car was going to be, you know, make me happy or whatever it is, but I think the hype behind it just clarified that a little bit and goes, okay, cool. This is what's important. I love the journey more than the destination, like getting to it and saying, being in a position where I go put the money down and get the car, it's more symbolic for me going, okay, cool. Well done. Great achievement that I've put myself in a position to be able to get these cars or those homes, those holidays, all that sort of stuff.
So it means less to you now?
It's not that it means less. I still want them. I still want to, and I would still be excited the day I go pick it up. But it was just more a realization.
So
I think
what did you realize?
that it's not, probably not as important to me as I once thought. Yeah.
Does that change anything for you?
Not really. I'll still want them. I still want to have these fun things in my life and toys. And as I said, I'm a car enthusiast, so I do enjoy it and I want to buy them. Does it change anything? It might just prioritize a little bit differently.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it's like when we said, get the car because it'll push you to pay for the car, you know, because you've got that thing that you got to pay the 10 grand a month to keep it and all this sort of shit. I don't feel I need that push anymore.
So do you want to do the Zagami thing or not?
That's just more for content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to make the video that goes viral and says, let me show you how I paid for this car in 3 days.
Let me show you how I bought this car and paid for it.
Yeah.
Straight away.
In 3 days. Because that's just going to be a cool story. That's going to be something cool to do. So here, I've just invested $1 million or $500,000, bought the car, got my 4 tickets to Zagami tent at the Grand Prix. Let me show you how I'm going to pay for this car in one transaction or 2. But yeah, so that was cool to see that and just a little bit more focus on, well, if we're trying to build these businesses and trying to do some extraordinary things, probably the car's not the route to go down. Maybe invest in the business and do other things. Then there was the offer. When we saw Alex Hormozi, I was actually full disclaimer, I've always followed and liked Grant Cardone for quite a few years. I thought his event was underwhelming.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah.
I'd been to the previous one. And the previous one, so the biggest guest that came on this event was Ryan Reynolds. And he was good.
He's a good guest.
I was a good guest. I enjoyed listening to his story. He's done businesses. It was cool.
There was no one else near that level.
The one that I went to in 2020, almost every guest was like that. Each day you had at least 2 guests that were as big as him.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. And I was kind of half expecting that. I was waiting for that huge guest to come in. And he was, but then everyone else was like, oh yeah, you know who he is. But
I didn't even know half the people.
Yeah, well, some of them. And then like Eric Trump. Eric Trump's pretty big, I guess.
Yeah, everyone.
He was big, so he was there.
Okay, yeah.
Who was the guy that political guy that goes to the unis?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I watch his stuff all the time. I like him.
Charlie Kirk.
That's right, Charlie Kirk. So he was there.
Yeah.
And then there was a few other
like
people that I've seen.
Billionaire oil.
Jimmy, what's it called? The Jimmy
Johns.
Jimmy John's, like a franchise that's a billion.
But did you know anything about Jimmy?
Nothing. He was entertaining. Like
he was very good. Yeah, but did you know anything about it?
No,
Me either. I've never
not at all.
even heard.
He was just bringing in people with huge levels of success. Some which were boring.
Like brought in a lot of billionaires.
Yeah, exactly right. The event itself was very political as well. So it was very like everything was about very red. That's the best way to put it. Always referencing back to Fixing California. We actually were sitting at the event thinking he's going to announce that he's running for governor because this was the last 10X conference he's going to do. We thought he was going to announce he's going to go for governor of California. And we were expecting Elon Musk to come out as a special guest too. None of those things happened on the day, but at the training. But that's how, because he kept seeding Elon Musk. He mentioned him probably at least 5 to 6 times throughout that
At
event.
least. Yeah.
At least. So we were expecting, Elon Musk. And that would have been pretty cool to see that. I'm kind of disappointed it didn't happen. So that was a bit underwhelming, but I'm still glad I went. No issues. I don't regret going to that. It was still like, it was cool, something to do. It's good to, again, I'm glad for the experience to see the guys selling and going hard and just watching Scott be uncomfortable the whole time. That was quite entertaining.
That was amazing. Here, I got a question for you about regret.
Yeah.
Is the definition of regret meaning you wouldn't do it again if you had the chance?
You wouldn't do it again if I had the chance.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
Is the definition of regret, if I say I would not do something, like, oh, would I do it again? Oh, no, I wouldn't do that again. Does that mean you regret it? Oh, no, I don't regret it. But that's what I'm asking you. So is the definition of regret meaning you wouldn't do it again? Because if you would not do something again, why would you, if you don't regret it, why would you not do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So is it?
No, I don't think it is.
You just said, yeah, exactly.
No, as in, I don't think that's the definition though.
So, but if you don't regret it, so you're saying I would say if I could take this back or never do it again, I would.
Yeah.
But I don't regret it. And then it's like, but if you don't regret it, wouldn't you do it again? Like, wouldn't you make it happen again? Even if it doesn't mean do it a second time, but relive that same experience, you would.
Yeah.
If you don't regret it.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you say I wouldn't have, like, I wish if I could go back, I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
That means you regret it.
That's right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that. So yeah, I think overall it was still good to see things in place. And we met some cool people as well along the way, going to those events. And then we went to Alex Hormozi as well. And I was surprised. I'm not surprised. I was happy with that investment that we made to go there and have a chat with him.
Yeah, I think that was great.
Yeah, we learned some stuff that we hadn't done before, some processes that we hadn't done before.
Just real practical.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good. It was good to have the stuff and the tools that he put forward. I enjoyed that. And then his offer and what he did and how he was getting there. You know, it's that next level of training and stuff like that. So I thought it was pretty cool. And we got an invite back on day. So it was a 2-day event, and we got an invite back on day 3, which was cool. Out of 110-ish people that were there in the room, he selected 13 people to come back on day 3 and have a chat with him. So I went back and I said, can my business partner come? He's like, yep, no worries. So we went there and had a chat with him on day 3, and it was, again, the next level. So they looked at numbers that we had provided previously before going to the event and said, yeah, you're the type of business that qualifies for us to work further with and develop your business and get it to this level and do that sort of stuff. So that was really cool to see. And it comes back to, I believe that if I signed up to that, it would be beneficial for the business and for me. But I didn't sign up to it. And then you put the question forward, well, why? So if you don't sign up to it, then obviously you don't believe that that's going to work. So it was really the question that was burning in me, and still is.
Yeah, good.
I must say, like, it's still annoying me because I had a follow-up phone call with one of his sales guys yesterday, and young kid, but very good. You know, age doesn't determine ability. He was asking some really good questions.
Very
it wasn't
sales trained.
Very well.
Very well.
Very well. Like, and it was great because we can appreciate that.
And a very different type of seller to
what we experienced.
Yeah, dude, very different. He was like asking the right questions, having an open conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas the other guys were like pushing and, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Dude, the other guy told me, I said, dude, I'm not here to, like, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to sell me anything.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing, like, I'm going to flip. Like, that's the only thing that's going to come out of this. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Whereas
did they call you again?
No, never.
Exactly. And that's what I mean. Scott left it, or other people leave it as an open-ended thing. Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, let me grab your number. Maybe we can chat.
Yeah.
And they find you in the room of 10,000 people. They see you, you know, and they leech on. They go bang. But yeah, he was just asking intelligent questions.
Yeah, very.
It was good questions to ask to get a sale.
It was very good. Yeah, the sales process was very good.
Yeah. So, I mean, my biggest thing to come out of that now, because I reckon that was,
what?
Why haven't I signed up? Because it was a significant investment.
Yeah.
Right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But if you would invest, if I said to you, look, Robbie, give me $200,000. Just give me $200K and we'll turn it into 20 mil.
Yep.
You're like,
Yes. Yeah.
hey, yeah, let me go get a bank loan. Thanks. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, why wouldn't you do that? So there must be a level of disbelief that it would happen.
Is there?
I think there is, to a degree. There has to be.
I think that
because you're going out on a limb and you're trusting someone. And look, are you influenced by the fact of who he is, what he's done?
I think yes, you should be.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He's done it. He's got the runs on the board. So it's like, okay, well,
so
why
there's
don't I do it?
Yeah, so there's this whole thing around beliefs. You might know this, but I'll share it because I think it'll be interesting for anyone listening. So there's 3 things when people don't move forward to something, it usually comes down to one of 3 things. They either don't believe it can happen, don't believe they can do it, or don't believe that vehicle is the right vehicle.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like there's either a, I don't think he can, or it's a, I don't think I can, or it's a, I don't think it can.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and it's usually one of those 3.
Or a combination.
Oh yeah, possibly more than one.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. But it usually comes down to something like that because then they teach this through online selling, saying like when you're selling online, you need to be able to knock those 3 beliefs out.
Yeah.
Without getting them to say it. Do you know what I mean? You need to be able to knock all 3 out. It's Russell Brunson teaches it.
Yeah.
It's actually really good. His book, .com Secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, if you can knock those 3 things out, you'll usually get the go ahead. Usually.
Yeah.
Not always, but usually. And
Yeah,
this is a
it's
guy that
interesting.
sold a software product, which is very difficult to sell one to many,
Mm.
and did 3 million in sales in 90 minutes.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing when you look at that. Like we had an event when we got back, literally got back from Vegas on the Friday, and then the following Thursday had a 3-day event that I was doing. And, you know, I wanted to use a few of the strategic tactics that they were using from sales, from just my lessons, from everything in that process. And, you know, it was a great 3 days. It's going to be a matter of, I reckon, the follow-up as to see what happens as far as how successful that sale process becomes. But again, I'm selling a similar thing that Alex was selling to me. And you asked the same question, like, where's the barrier for those people buying from you? For them, I think it's a fuck all bit of money.
Yeah,
I think people are crazy.
He probably thinks that, too.
Exactly. Exactly. For him, he's like, dude, he goes,
it's
just
there's levels,
give
there's
me
levels
the
to
money.
this shit, yeah.
Don't be a dumb shit. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, that he uses the influence. It was funny because I was on the call with his salesperson
yeah.
on the mobile, and we're talking, and then I hear, hey, George. I'm like, Alex, how you going? He's like, good. When am I going to see you next? And I'll like come into your office straight away. I said, oi, I'm literally talking to Alex. I'll put it on mute. I go, I'm just talking to Alex. And he goes, Alex, who the fuck's Alex?
Yeah,
Like,
no
he had
idea.
no idea. Come on, man. There's only one Alex. But it was funny, again, as another, I guarantee that was planned. I think it was. I think it's like, hey, I've got a conversation with this guy from Australia at thing. Just pop in and say g'day. And he's like, cool. And all it was. He's like, hey, I've got a jet, but I hope you're in good hands. Speak to you soon.
I've never seen you blush before.
I was ready to cry.
I was like, man, what's going on there? Who's this Alex?
Who's this Alex guy?
Yeah.
Does Nicole know? Shit.
Does Nicole know? My mind didn't go there.
No, but it was again another strategy, which I saw straight away. But it was it's just, am I getting in my own way?
I'm sure the answer will come to you when it.
I think it will.
Yeah, of course.
I think it will.
At some point.
Because there's part of me that was like, fuck it, just go do it. Just go do it. Go get a loan. If you don't want to, because I say, cash flow, because that's what I'm thinking. Right? So they offered me options. I said, listen, you can do this over 8 months. We'll do another intake in 8 months' time. Just do it now, incrementally over the next 8 months. Just pay it off. Okay, that could work. That could work. Oh, what else? What other excuses could I bring up? You know what I mean? If it's a cash flow, I go, okay, we'll go get a loan. Go get a loan, 6%. No worries. You got the money. You pay it off as you pay it off. And then in 12 months' time, when you've made the money back, pay the loan off.
Mm.
Go win another job. Go make more money.
Someone, wise man, once said, if money can solve your problem, it's not a problem. It's an expense.
Makes sense.
Right?
That's it.
No, No, yeah.
Other excuses, I even said to you, I said, if it was just me and I wasn't married, didn't have a kid, didn't have other responsibilities, kids, I would have done it. So what? Now that you have those really important people, you don't want to do it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what I mean? This is the internal battle that I keep having.
I'm not.
But they're the internal questions that I got. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Did for sure. It's the internal questions that I've been having with myself.
Good. Stop
I think
fucking
so.
around.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So, and it doesn't mean you have to do it now, but like,
Yeah, that's right.
it doesn't
That's
mean
right.
you have to do it, period. I said, and we had this conversation at the start. I said, hey, like, life is pretty good.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? You don't have to keep going,
Yeah.
but just accept and say, like, yeah, this is it. Like, I'm super comfortable here. I've got everything I need.
Yeah.
More than I probably thought. I could say for myself, probably got more than I ever thought I could have at one point in my life. You know what I mean? And then sometimes that puts you in a position where it's like, this is scary now.
Hmm.
Like now it's like going to the unknown again. I did that fucking once already and that was fucked.
So true.
You know what I mean? And now it's like, you want me to go further into the unknown?
You can't. Of course you can.
Fuck.
Of course you. There's no recovery.
No recovery at all.
So,
But you get what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
now you want me to go further into the unknown. And it's like,
so
that's
true.
a scary leap, man. It's like,
Yep.
because what if I fall now? And it's
Yeah.
like, this has been hard. This isn't, because it's not,
been hard to get
business
to
is hard, dude.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, this has been a mission to get here. And it's like, even though you know that if everything was to go away, you could do it again. It's like, there's a part of you that doesn't want to test it.
No, so
Like,
true.
Yeah, you're like, dude, like,
It's like,
even
yeah.
though I know I could push and it'll be a slug, but I'd do it. It's like,
I don't want
I
to
don't
go
want
to
to
zero.
do it, dude.
I don't want to go to zero again.
I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. Yeah.
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 Very true.
It's a true feeling, man. It's a scary
100,
feeling. But I also
100%.
remember feeling that way when I was going to invest $5,000 into a course.
Yeah.
And thinking, what happens if this, like, and I think of it, it's so dumb to me now, but I think of it at the time, like, what if this guy scams me? And it's like, even if he scams you, like, you're going to lose $5,000, you're going to be okay. But at the time, I was like, man, it's $5,000. It could be the end of my life.
Sleep.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I used to think if I'd lose $50,000, I was done.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. You're never going to come back from that. And it's like,
Give up.
that's going to happen, dude. And then it's like, how do you build the toughness to sit there like 5 mil? No. Like, you know,
Don't
even if we fucking, dude, fuck it, flinch, but do it anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, flinch, but do it anyway.
Yeah.
Better than fucking, because you might never get to the point where you don't flinch. You know, if I lose $3, I sit there, fuck. But yeah, it's a great, life will send things your way that will remind you of shit.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Because like prior to that, we'd never thought about it. I was thinking they're going to teach us thing in a 2-day workshop. It's going to be sick. It's probably going to be a sale. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all
Well,
I
we
was
were
thinking.
expecting it for sure. It was going to happen.
Yeah, but I wasn't. Well, it makes sense. He's not
Yeah.
going to just put on a workshop for $5,000, per person, US. But
US.
US, it was.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
Don't forget it was in US.
And I was like, what was it talking about? Yeah,
going.
life sends things your way that kind of give you perspective on things you hadn't seen before.
Well, I walked past your office yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, remember like this time last year, we were talking about making a commitment and moving into a new office. I remember that. And now we're in the new office. We walk in here every day like it's nothing.
Yeah,
We've got our own podcast studio with a neon light.
zoom in on the neon light.
Do it.
Zoom in.
Do it. So it's like, okay, imagine what will happen the next 2 to 3 years. We'll be sitting having a coffee. I go, remember when we had that little office in Albert Park?
Mm.
You remember those days? How good life was back then? How exciting it was when we had that little office and 4 employees or 10 employees. And they go, now we've got 200 employees.
Yeah. Every step of the process has a different level of excitement. But I think the excitement's the next step. It's not the... You get bored of what you know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just becomes, it's a law of familiarity. You just start to know this and it becomes normal. Do you know what I mean? Dude, think about the level of emotion when you first had a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then think about, and I'm sure, and I reckon you're pretty good at this, but this is mainly for the listeners. How many times you've gone home and just, hey, like just fucking stop.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like they're trying to, hey, and you're like just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it was like, there was
Maybe
a
watch
time
TV.
where that shook your whole life, that kid. And then like there's days where because you just get so used to it every single day, day after day. Same thing with the sick car, dude. You jump in the sick car the first time, you're like, this is fucking mad.
Best
And
day of
then,
my life.
yeah. And then 3 months in, you're like,
Fuck, I got to go for petrol again.
yeah, oh, fucking hell. I've got to go service this thing. It's going to cost me a mint.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it just becomes, we get bored with what we know.
Yes.
But then what we don't know becomes scary.
Yep.
That's
Without
like
a doubt.
It's like the roller coaster of life.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's powerful stuff. I love talking about this.
What did you hate about the US?
The tipping was annoying.
Fuck, the tipping was annoying. Dude.
Especially if you didn't get the service.
Or if they don't give you any, like there's no way, like if it's like a Popeyes.
It's an expectation. Like I hate the expectation of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, you should tip if it's warranted.
Yeah. And they want 18%
Yeah.
as a minimum option now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I did this thing and I'll share it. And I was at a comedy club. So I went to Vegas, LA, San Diego, New York, Texas, back to Vegas. Okay. So I went around.
Yeah.
And when I was in New York, I went to a comedy club, so it's really funny. I can't remember his name, Mike something. Dude, like I had not laughed like that.
Yeah, right.
And I laughed.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I laughed on this.
I actually didn't ask you.
Huh?
I didn't ask you about
But the comedy club
one.
was fucking, it was really, really good. If I find his name, I'll share it. But the guy was great. I was pissing myself, dude. He was hilarious. And it was very expensive.
Mm.
Very expensive. Like they've got a thing, 2 drink minimum per
Yeah.
person. You're paying $30 a ticket. This is all US. So it was me, my cousin, and his wife. And then we're there, and you're there for, I don't know, an hour and a half. And the final bill came to like $230.
US. Mm.
Yeah. And then they want to the extent where before the last person comes on, they're collecting all the bills and they go on the mic and say, who's not from America? Okay, you guys need to know we tip here.
Mm.
Like they're letting you know. So the thing comes, $230, and then it's like minimum 18%. So that's like an extra $40 US. Yeah. So that's like $70.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not tipping that. Like, you know what I mean? So I went to tip 15% and I hit
Cancel.
No, I hit the thing. I hit custom and then I hit 15 enter and it tipped 15 cents.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And I was looked and I panicked and it had gone through and I'm like, and I'm waiting for the screen to change before I give it back to it. And then the screen changed and I handed her back the
Then
thing.
you ran.
Yeah. And I got out of there. But I tipped 15 cents. So it was a
Serves
comedy club and I had fun.
And you had a good time. And you had a good
And I had to getting support from our audience.
Yeah, so that was annoying. Look, every meal we ate, there was nothing like a cheap meal was $40 to $50 every
That
single
was
time.
shit. That was shit. The food was shit.
Yeah, I didn't rate the food
The
at
food
all.
was horrible.
The only good food, funny enough, and we said it, was when we went to the Alex Hormozi course and they put on the buffet
they
food.
put on the buffet.
It was actually
food, yeah.
quite nice. That was
actually
good
pretty nice.
quality food.
That was very good quality food.
Look, there was a place, Italy, where we went. They had some good food there. Like some of the
okay.
pastas we had,
Okay.
they were
I
nice. But
reckon
again, $50 by the time you convert
yeah,
it.
way better food here, in my opinion.
Heaps better. We're very spoiled here with food. Like that's something Australia definitely has.
I was
over.
very disappointed in that.
Yeah.
I was
Because you went
disappointed.
to all the.
I went everywhere.
all
Dude. I went
those-
to Popeyes, Chick-fil-A.
How much weight did you put on? I forgot to ask you. Like from the time you left, did you weigh
Probably
yourself when
about
you left?
5 kilos.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not too
no.
bad.
6-pack by September.
That's it. You heard it here.
You heard it here first. I ate Popeyes, Chick-fil-A. I went to like the highest rated. So like Dave Portnoy, who does all these pizza reviews in New York and
Yep.
all that. I went
Yep.
to the highest rated pizza
Pizza place.
places. And they were okay. Like they were good.
Yeah.
But like I reckon I've had a better pizza here.
They
I've
probably
definitely had a better pizza in
Yeah.
Italy. 100%.
just- Okay.
Yeah. Guaranteed. Not even close. And I've had better pizzas here, I reckon.
Yeah, I think
They were
for
good.
them, they don't know what they don't know. So to them, that could be the best pizza.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it was just not what it's hyped up to be.
Did
but
you
then
just do
think-
margarita? Portugal,
yeah,
something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've got a rule. I'm going to follow the
Yeah,
law, letter of the law.
that's it.
But also, is it their thing about like, is this me again being conditioned to be Australian and sit there like,
Yeah.
do you know what I
I
mean?
need to have my coffee this way. And,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're all like, this is the best pizza ever. And, rah, rah, rah. And then I'm like, I go there with this expectation, like, fuck, you just said it's the best pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would never say that about any pizza because I suffer from tall puppy syndrome. And I go there and then I'm like, oh, yeah, this is shit.
Yeah.
Or it's not that good. Is it that?
Could
Yeah.
be a level of that for sure.
I don't know. But I definitely lost a lot of respect for Dave Portnoy.
Did you? Oh, funny.
Yeah, the food was shit, dude. Like even the chicken sandwiches, the
I mean, we went out and had some nice meals at some restaurants.
In-N-Out.
They weren't
I
great.
can't believe you didn't like In-N-Out. Dude, if anyone listening to this right now, you've been to the US, you know how good In-N-Out is.
Man,
You know
it's okay.
how good have you had In-N-Out? I'll take you. In-N-Out's a top tier. It's a top tier fast food burger.
Yeah, it is fast food.
Oh, it's definitely fast food. Without a doubt. They got the worst fries in the world. Like
Fucking like cardboard.
the
It was
worst.
like eating. It was
For
like
a place
eating
that
paper.
can deliver a good burger, they have the absolute worst fries you've ever had in your whole life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like the food that much. It was just not good.
Hmm.
And the tipping really bothered me. It got to the point where I was getting upset.
Yep.
Because like, not because you can't, you're supposed to tip people and not because of that, but because it became an entitlement thing. Like you'd go to a Popeyes and you'd be like, can I get a chicken sandwich? And they're like, anything else? And you'd be like, no. And then like, okay. And then they expect an 18% tip. And then you're like, for what?
Yeah.
Doing your fucking job.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? You're already getting paid to stand there. And you have given me no tips, no service. You haven't helped me with the menu. You haven't made any recommendations. You've done nothing.
Press buttons.
Yeah. You asked me 2 questions and you want me to tip you for that? No.
Mm.
And then you don't tip them and then they will not look you in the eye.
Yeah.
They will like, here. And then you're like, what? Like, and for those
That's even
listening,
worse.
yeah, for those listening, like I just went to hand George something without looking him in the eye.
Yeah.
But I just think it was disgusting. The culture has created a level of entitlement. Yeah, like you have to tip us. You must tip us. This is, you know what I mean? And it's like, we really don't.
Mm.
Like really, really don't have to.
Well, they've changed the laws recently. They increased the minimum wage to reduce that tipping aspect of it as well.
But they put up tips to 18%, dude. It used to be 10 or 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's 18% minimum on the, you know how they give you 3 options, like 18, 20 or 25 or whatever it is.
So the problem is that they get paid lower than minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's like the American.
Sounds like
thing.
a them problem.
Yeah, it's a them problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Call Trump.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, not my fucking problem.
It's like you use Uber. The brides.
Of course.
Yeah. Cool.
Except for when I'm in the US.
Yeah.
Lyft.
Yeah. Use Lyft.
Lyft.
So-
Hey, Lyft is actually better in the US, by the way.
Yeah. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no issues with
was
it.
cheap.
Use it. Cheap. There was good options. That's probably one thing that was reasonable.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to what we're saying. So Uber here, right? You know, when you do a ride and says, rate your driver. If you do anything under a 5-star, it's asked, well, why? It's like, what was the reason for that 5-star, like for the 4 stars or the 3 stars? And then you have to go through this process and pick, this. Like, it's a job. Pain in the ass. I just tip 5 stars. But I don't think I've ever had exceptional service to warrant 5-star review for Uber drivers. Half the time I just give it to them.
I don't do any review.
I'm just saying, because it comes up the next time you do it.
Yeah. And I said,
You just skip. Yeah.
fuck Sandeep.
Yeah.
And move on.
Yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting how they make you justify why it was 4
I think it's more
or
so
3
feedback.
or 2. Yeah, it could be.
Surely.
Could be. I don't know.
You reckon they're trying to get you to justify it?
Yeah.
I think they're trying to get feedback. Like, you didn't think it was 5 stars? Tell us why.
Mm. But then part of me is like, I don't want to. This is what this guy does for work. I'm not going to fucking shit on him just because he's.
Oh, yeah. I just usually
like,
just
whatever.
don't.
Man. Yeah. Have your 5 stars. That's good. Well done.
So you're a big 5-star guy, huh?
No, not at all. I just do it out of sympathy. Unless they were amazing. Very rarely have I tipped in Uber, because you can tip now on Uber too in Australia.
You've always been able to.
Have you? Yeah. I was a late adopter of Uber.
Well, like a month ago.
Yeah. Just last week. No, Uber was around for ages, and I never used it. Never used, because I used to drive everywhere. So very rarely would I catch an Uber.
Like, I feel like you're confessing something here. What's the...
Oh, yeah, no.
How recent?
I can't tell you now. I don't know, but I know it was around for ages before I used it.
Last 5 years stuff?
Oh, probably less than that.
Less than that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, how long's Uber been around for? It was around for a while, man.
oh, dude, I remember the first time I heard about Uber, I was working at Mercedes-Benz in 2014. And the
I mean,
lady
since
was
it
standing
became-
outside, and I said, do you want me to call you a cab? Because that's what we used to do. And she said, no, I'm going to catch an Uber. And I said, what's that? And then she said, you just look people driving past and you can find someone and hitch a ride with them.
How
and I was
funny.
like,
That's weird.
that's fucking weird.
Oh, so you find serial killers. So
Yeah,
it's an
it's
app
like,
for serial killers now.
That's really strange. And it's like, yeah, people do it and they make extra money. And then in my head, Uber was this thing where it's like, if I was going from Albert Park to Narre Warren,
Yeah.
I could say, hey, I'm going to Albert Park, Narre Warren. If anyone wants to hitch a ride with me, they can.
Yeah.
That's how, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
my thing of what Uber was.
Yeah.
Anyway, learned from that.
You do indeed.
So when did you get on it?
I can't remember, man.
Come on.
Probably
Show me up.
Probably in my email somewhere. I might be able to figure it out.
Well, like in your inbox now.
Yeah, we
like
say,
the last 3 hours.
welcome to Uber.
Like, yeah.
Thanks for signing up.
When, confess, when is it? Iggy, when did you get onto Uber?
What's,
yeah, 19,
what, you know,
pre-COVID.
Diddy? Diddy? Use Diddy? D-I-D-I?
Oh,
Do you use that one?
not P. Diddy?
No, not him.
Okay.
I don't think he does rideshare anymore.
You can, okay.
Used to.
Um,
I only got onto that last year.
Diddy? Who the
Yeah.
fuck uses Diddy?
Used it a couple times.
For what? You use Diddy when you're in
Rideshare.
China.
No, it's here too.
Um,
It's cheaper than Uber as well. Not always. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's cheaper and it has a lot of deals.
Oh, yeah, they often
Yeah.
have like specials and
Yeah.
25%
I don't.
off.
I
and shit
wouldn't
like
even
that.
have the app on my
30%.
phone. I reckon.
That's all right. It's pretty.
Diddy, D-I-D-I.
D-I.
Definitely,
Same as Uber.
definitely don't have the app on my phone.
Do it. Sign it up.
No, you're gonna
Yeah,
be a
the
late,
app also
late to
Late,
the
late of a top that. It'll be expensive by then.
Um,
Yeah, so
Could be.
overall, it was a great trip. I'm glad I did it. Towards the end, I was ready to come home as well.
I reckon you were ready to leave before you go there.
Nah, I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so.
You don't reckon?
No, it was
I
probably
can't remember
towards,
when I first saw you. When did I first see you?
I don't know, it was in Vegas.
Yeah,
We got to,
because I was there for ages.
yeah, you were there for like 2 weeks prior.
When did I? Okay, no, I met you at the hotel.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was good. It's just like there was heaps of stuff going on at the time that I was away as well. So
Yeah.
it's like I was like there was a bit of a drainer with getting a whole bunch of phone calls and things happening and trying to coordinate a few things whilst being over there. So there was times where I had to step away, do a bit of work, and send emails and all that sort of shit. And people,
I
just,
liked that the
fine.
time zone was.
yeah,
kind of
zone was all right.
opposite.
Yeah, it worked okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like it was like you could wake up and nothing. There was no chaos.
Yeah, up until about what is it?
Yeah,
12
yeah,
2 p.m. or something,
Something
like that.
Yeah, and then it's like okay, now everything starts.
Yeah, and it goes till about
But I liked it.
10. So, yeah, there was a few things like that, which is good too, because it just made me realize, okay, there's still room that I need to put things in place so that it's not always coming back to me. So that's good too. And again, I've realized it's just the nature of where we're at with a couple of projects, need to get them finished. And then that'll take a lot off my plate once the particular couple projects are done.
Biggest takeaway from the Hormozi workshop, apart from
What we
obviously the
went
whole
through?
experience, yeah,
Yep,
like the
the actual
actual
experience.
content.
The content, it was just good to see. Oh, okay. So we did this exercise where you value your business. You're going through and going, okay, well, what's your business actually worth? And it was interesting to see that once we got through that, his calculations of how he values a business and what it should be worth, my business was worth $0 to be sold to someone if someone were to buy it. So it was interesting to see that. I liked that because it shows you on the metrics that they had, that they measured, which I'm sure are very applicable here too.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth zero, but
Yeah,
I
I think
understand
from
the
his
concept.
perspective, he probably does that on purpose
No,
so that he can says, let us show you how to make it worth a lot more.
No, I think it's not worth. It could be worth a lot more, but it's like the key man risk thing
Yeah.
is like a massive element that they turn around and say like we won't invest in something where there's key man risk.
Yeah, and rightly so.
Yeah.
Rightly so. And that's with 95% of small businesses in Australia.
100%
Key man
agree.
risk, you'd say?
Yeah,
It has to be.
heaps. So like it would
Has
be
to be.
so common.
Yeah.
Where it's dependent on one or a set of individuals, driving the show.
Yeah.
And it being them, not the position.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, how do you? I think them showing how you remove yourself was cool.
Yeah,
Right?
I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree.
Like, it was cool. It's cool. I took some real practical stuff and said, okay,
That's
cool.
what I liked.
I need to take that. I need to do that. That's right. Yes. Like, cool. No fluff, no hype. Just like hey, these are the 5 things. These are the 6 things. You know what I mean? This is what we look at. Do one thing in each one. Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
You'll move.
So
at
have
least.
you put goals in place now to implement?
Me,
Post.
I've already implemented. Ask Scott.
Ask him. Oh yes, how funny. So good.
But yeah, I've already there's been things we've put into place. I'm now looking at hiring people I wasn't intending on hiring prior
Mhm.
because I want to implement strategies that we didn't do
Mhm.
because I'm like, okay, that could be the thing that propels us forward massively. There's lots of I guess elements.
Touching back on something you said before about, you want to get to a position where you're making people where, that unknown is scary. Do you think people should be, especially in business, do you think they should be looking for those?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
You don't have to, no.
Yeah. And that's why I think we had this discussion leaving acquisition.com on day 3. And it's like, you don't have to. Like there is nothing to say you must.
Yeah. Because he was saying that actually in a podcast I was listening to, Alex. He goes, you could be very happy getting to $1 million.
Yeah. And you might just
and
say
that's where you want to stay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here. Like he goes, well done. You won.
Yeah.
You win.
If
That's
you
right.
are happy with that, dude, and you can be
Because
happy
you
making $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like
You win.
Gary V was big on that as well.
Huge.
He's like,
He still is. Like,
yeah, he's like, I got friends who finish at 4 p.m. and
Go coach Little League.
Yeah, they coach Little League and they go to soccer Sundays and they're happy as hell. He goes, and they've won. He goes, I'm not doing better than them. Like they love what they're doing. Like I'm not better than them. And I think that's a very good perspective.
Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah. It just comes down to what you want.
I find that people do want more though. Do you reckon that could be a societal
Yes,
pressure?
everyone wants more,
Yeah.
dude. But are you willing to? There's a with more comes more risk,
Yeah.
more. You know what I mean? More down, more like. Are you willing? Do you want more of that as well?
Yeah.
Because you want more, you get more of everything.
That's
you don't
it.
just get a
You get
little
more
bit
problems.
of yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, how much do you want more? Because there's a certain point where it becomes like a, fuck, this wasn't. And I think someone was saying this. I can't remember who. It might have been a discussion last night at dinner, where you were like, oh, I was watching a video. I can't remember. Everything's morphed into one. But someone was saying something along the lines of like, when you making the sweet point is like 400K or something, and it's like when you get to $1 million plus, like your problems are so big that it's almost not worth the money you're making, or something along those
I
lines.
don't think we spoke about that last night.
Yeah, I can't remember who had said it. It might have been in a book.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a awareness thing.
Yeah.
It's a what do you want thing.
Yes.
It is. It's a what do you want, dude?
So what do you actually want? What's your result? Like, what are you trying to, what's the result you're after here?
Yeah, and it's like, what do you want, dude? Because like, if this whole thing, this life, it's gonna pass. It's gonna go, dude.
Goes
and,
quick.
And the next thing you know what I mean? You're gonna be a year older and a year older, and then you're gonna be in a new decade of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the next thing you know, you're really old and you're 40 and
Does it again. Does it again.
it's done.
Well, I want more.
Hey,
I want more. And do you know what else? Do you know what I really want more of?
What?
Subscribers. I want a lot more
I'm
subscribers
with
to
you.
this channel.
I'm with you.
I
I'm
want
willing,
people
I'm
to-
willing to take on the pain to get those more subscribers.
Like
Whatever it takes.
I like it. We're willing to do what it takes. All you have to do is press the red button and then you get registered to subscribe to every single thing that we come and say at this podcast.
You reckon people can't find the red button?
Look, surely not. It's red. How could they miss it?
Yeah, right.
How could they miss
Silly question.
it? It is silly. That's all right. It's your first podcast.
First podcast.
No, look, in all honesty, it's like we get a lot of people listening, but not necessarily subscribed. And it helps us grow the channel. It helps us provide more value across all the platforms, not just, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, but on YouTube, on social media, Instagram,
Yeah.
LinkedIn,
And
everywhere.
if
Wherever
you
we
do, I'll try and make this into a clip. Hopefully the team captures this. If you see something that you want us to talk about on this podcast, there's a link in all the descriptions of the full episodes. It's called Ask Us a Question. And you can ask us a question or tell us a topic that you want us to discuss.
Absolutely. And that'd be really cool. That'd be cool to see what some people want to hear and be educated on. Because I think we're at a point in our lives where we've got a really good level of experience. I really feel that people can come to me and I can give them really good advice. And my wife said this to me a while ago at an event. She goes, someone asked me a question and she goes, what the fuck? Like, how did you know the answer to that? I'm like, I've done the reps. I go, I know the answer because I know the answer. It's what you need to do. We've gone through it, or I've been educated in that space. I know what needs to be done.
And I know how to think.
Yeah. You know how to
I didn't know what the question was going to be. Dude, I am so confident in my ability to think things through that I'm like, throw anything at me.
Yeah.
Like, and let's work it out.
Yeah. And you know what?
What's
I'm
the
also
looks?
humble enough to say, I don't actually know the answer to that question.
Yeah. But if you can explain that properly,
Mm.
you still sound intelligent.
Yeah.
You know, because if you can
Yeah.
turn around and explain it properly and say, this
But I think there is a level of intelligence when it comes to that too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, you're educated. You have been.
Yeah. No. I didn't mean sound intelligent as in fool the audience.
Yeah.
I meant it will come across.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, another episode down.
77,
That's awesome.
78,
It's like a year and a
70.
half, isn't it? Something like that.
70 something.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to think that we've been going consistently and we have our own neon sign and hats and merch. And it's enjoyable.
And listeners.
And listeners, thank you so much. Look, honestly, if you're listening to this, we really appreciate you spending the time, spending an hour with us, having a eavesdropping. It's kind of like the eavesdropping on our conversation, isn't it?
We should add segments.
Segments as in come in at this point and we'll be talking about this
Yeah, like a
so they can skip forward or skip
like
back.
a thing, like, I can't explain it. Like, you know how you see those things where it's like George gets mad, and then it's like, oh, what's George gets mad, and then you're like, this week I've seen and you crack the shit.
Well, now I'm going to have to put
It's
that
like-
segment in all the
You know
time.
what I mean? Yeah.
My rant.
George gets angry. George
Not angry about anything this week.
Nah, that's great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Hope you're having $1 million day, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye, everybody.